Hello, everyone joining us live, and hello, everyone watching the replay. If you're doing that, thank you so much for being here. I have with me Richie.
Hi, Aussie. I'm so excited to be with you.
I'm
Excuse me.
so excited you're
I'm
here.
going to have to cough quite a lot during this live,
Yes,
so do excuse me.
and I
I'm
don't
so
mind.
excited to be with you. It's been ages since we've done a live, and so
I know,
I,
I know.
I thought I have to come on and we have to talk about this and have some fun because it's been ages.
Plus, it's been 3 months. I cannot believe that we're actually been done with the first quarter of the study, even
I
though
I
I didn't
know.
do as much studying as much as I thought that I would, but.
It's been a weird 3 months in the Wildwood. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and I don't even know why I thought that life would be just like, oh, sure, take the time you want to use for studying. Of course, we're gonna let you do that. Yeah, yeah,
I've had loads of things on, other bits and
yeah.
pieces. I'm not going to pretend for one moment that I'm exceptionally busy. I've just been doing lots of things. I've been doing trees of the year. I've been
Oh, yeah, that's so
walking. I've
interesting.
been doing journaling. I've all sorts of wonderful stuff I've enjoyed doing. But to try and cram it in has been a bit of a
Yeah,
mind. But at least we've done it. At least I've done it, and I've more
you've
or less
done it.
done it. I'll have to admit that I gave up on a couple of cards, and I'm going to go back and study them later. So that's
Ah, okay. I mean, I'm behind a little. I'm gonna tell you where I dropped off.
where are you? What have you done?
I mean, I did, like highlight stuff and made notes, but to be honest, first thing first, I think I wasted at least 2 weeks with being undecided on how to journal about which one, where to use it, which one should I use. And then I started writing in one journal, and then I realized that it's not going to be good. So I had to copy all my notes from the old one to the new one, which currently I have no idea where it is because I rearranged stuff in my room, and yeah, my desk is on the opposite side, and honestly, I just don't know where my notes are.
You had hashtag journaling drama. That's what you're
Oh yeah,
saying.
absolutely, absolutely. That sounds so much cooler than just I don't know where did I put my freaking notebook because it's somewhere behind me. It's in my desk somewhere. I just currently have absolutely zero idea. But yeah, I mean, I have issues, because I was like, but I want a place where I can add, but there's not enough space, and I left out the card list from the beginning, and then I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And I overcomplicated things.
You overcomplicate it. But do you know what? I think with this, it's.
Hi,
Oh,
Gerald.
hi, Gerald.
We were just talking about you. That I'm missing you as well, and everyone else. So yeah, I know. But all I do lately is watch House. I started rewatching House
Oh, have you?
because my friend and colleague watches it, and we watched a couple of episodes when we just the two of us was in the office. So I'm like, you know what? I want to rewatch a House. So I'm rewatching House.
Well,
But yeah,
you're allowed to. It's not. You shouldn't be guilt tripped into because you
yeah,
said you're going to do this. This is supposed to be enjoyable. That's what I've decided halfway.
yeah. That's
It's
true.
that it's not. It is studying, but it's studying at your leisure and your pace, and you're finding out about stuff. It reminded me of when I was a kid and having to do homework
Oh,
at the start, and like, oh, I've got to do, can't do this, can't go out till I've done my Wildwood study. And I thought that's ridiculous because that means I'm not enjoying it and I'll stop doing
yeah.
it. So I changed my mind around it and I thought, let's Mary Poppins it up. Let's enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Plus, I think if we talk about it, that we might not feel that overly enthusiastic about studying this deck. Maybe people will feel less guilty about feeling the same way because I kind of guess from the amount of people not posting anymore on the Discord that I think a lot of people are struggling. I'm just making assumptions here, but I think a lot of people are struggling to study something right now, at least in this long format. And I'm not even sure if it's good for me, to be honest, because
Yeah.
sometimes I'm really in the mood of studying this, and maybe I should just use those times and study as much as I can and not wait for the time to come because I'm really not good at sticking uh, like schedules. I realized as with card study.
Other thing, I haven't studied something, and I hate the word study. Being a teacher, I
Yeah.
hate the word study, but I haven't studied something like this for years.
Mm,
And I am
yeah.
my own worst enemy when it comes to this. So I had to do a bit of thinking about it, but it's not all doom and gloom. I have enjoyed the 3 months and I've learned something. And that's the important thing. If I'd come out of this cycle for this first part and gone, that's done nothing for me, I would have put it down. I am
Yeah.
determined to keep going into the next part. And I think that's important thing to go. If I can get my to the next quarter or the next Sabbath or whatever it is, then that's an achievement and little goals. Absolutely, steps
Yeah.
forward.
Plus, yeah. Plus, I think it's I mean, for me, it's for sure. If I didn't do this publicly, I would have stopped it because
It's
when
for those
I well,
people
like
out there,
honestly, when
you.
yeah, I mean, I was doing this to have not had myself accountable because again, that sounds like it's a forced thing, but it's not. It's just that I wanted, I don't know, something to remind me that I want to do this, and I still want to do this, but I'm struggling much more with this deck than I anticipate. I was expecting a connection with this deck that is not there, and I don't know if it's
Not there
because
yet.
yeah, exactly. So I'm not sure if it's just because right now I'm in a stage, especially with the first suit, which is the arrows,
Not an
which is
easy
the
set to
air.
start with either.
Plus, but it's my favorite one. I'm an airhead. I love the arrows. I love the air suit. But this one is just so different that I couldn't really connect with it the same way that I usually am. So Hi Giselle, how are you doing?
I lovely
So
to
nice
see
to see you here. Ooh, what are you cooking? I'm gonna eat after this live stream.
you. Me
What a surprise! Gerald says I read a little of the book every day in 2021. I promised myself that I would show up and read each day. That's how I got through it. That's good.
too. Yeah.
I'm just reading the Throne of Glass book series, and that's just so good that it's so hard not to read that one. So
I just finding books that I desperately want to read. I've literally just finished reading. I'm trying to read more this year, so I'm trying to at least read one book a month, which
yeah,
doesn't
that's good.
sound much, but for me, that is
Oh,
because I tend to fall asleep in the evenings rather than read a book.
I
So
mean, that's a good thing, honestly. Some people like me struggle with falling asleep. So that's a good thing.
yeah, yeah. But
Nothing
at least
exciting.
we
I
kept going.
don't
At
believe
least
you.
nothing exciting. Oh.
Yes, I kind of I don't think Giza can cook nothing exciting. That's just suspicious. Question: would it make a difference if you're reading with the deck regularly? Would that help feel connected to? I'm assuming, but okay. So let's start with things that I struggle with. So we can address those.
Yeah.
One of the thing is the one of the biggest issues I have now, even more so that I started studying the deck, is that it's not an RWS deck at all, yet it has the numbering, it has the suit names and the structure of the suit, and it's just my mind constantly struggles against the idea of the RWS meaning and this deck meaning and what it should be, and it's not. And I think for me that's like a hurdle that I need to get over. So I don't think I can just start reading with this deck because it's not RWS, and I don't want to fall back on the RWS meaning. And if I don't study the deck beforehand, I know I will do that.
I totally agree, and I think it was the two of arrows that got
Uh,
me going on that one. I sat there. This is the one that I had the most problem with. I have a problem with the two of swords at the best of times. To then give me it in a very different version and yet some similarities, I struggled with this, and to hit this quite early on was difficult. But I
yeah,
totally
second
agree.
form.
I had to get my head out of the what does it mean in the RWS.
Yes, because this is how I dealt with it is that this is the justice card. in the RWS, and I was like, okay, so what is? I checked what the justice card is in this one, and it's slightly different. So I was like, okay, so every deck has to be a card, has to have a card that deals with these issues, and this is going to be this one. So I will have to get away from the Two of Swords meaning.
Yeah.
Plus, my problem was with it that I think the description in the book says that the scales are uneven.
Yeah.
But I was like, but the illustrations, they are even. So like, what are you talking about?
That hurt me as well. I didn't need that extra bit to be put in there.
But the extra book we're using, the Year in the Wildwood, actually said something. And if I had my notes, I could tell you exactly what. But I don't know where my notebook is. But it says something about how, like, not the feather can't be equal to the gold, but how your I don't know. I can't fucking remember. But it made sense. So that's why I think the extra book makes sense, because sometimes it translates the card description into a more understandable level, at least for me. So I'm not saying that it adds a lot of new things. I think it's just more like it explains things in a much simpler, clearer way, so I can be like, aha, now I understand. Which is a good thing.
It is. I learned quite quickly not to read the book, spend time with the image. Spend time with the image, work with the keyword or the title. And I sat with that for a few days. I'd go for a walk or do something like that, keep coming back to it, and then journal it, and then read the book.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
I think the Year in the Wild book Wild book is a good thing to get. I mean, for me at least, it helps a lot. I'm not necessarily, like I said, if I would do this study on my own and not with you guys, I would just sit down and go through the whole thing all at once, and then maybe follow the suits and maybe try to check which card is in which period. By the way, I updated the description, so we have the bows which are coming up. So you can check which card falls on which date if you want to follow the structure.
Lovely. Thank you for doing that, updating it.
I mean, it's a useful system, but for me, maybe it's because I just have issues with sticking to routines, and that could be just my thing. For me, it's not as
very systematic. I was very much like, okay, I'm going to do a couple when I'm in the right mood to do it, and I'm going to actually pick the cards that I want to do rather than systematically go, right, it's 3 of arrows or whatever day to day or week it is.
Yeah.
So I tried to stick to it, but at the same time, if I was in the mood to do journaling around it, and quite often an idea might spark off in another card. So I did it that way rather than sticking really rigidly to it. I think it's all the best intentions in the world. It's impossible to do it as rigid as that.
Yeah. Plus, there are cards that make sense to study together, like the Pole Star.
Yeah.
And the Ancestor, because the Ancestor greets you at the entrance of the forest. So
yeah,
they go hand in hand, and it makes sense. To go well. And okay. Hi, Tarot Destroyer. I never know if this person is like with that name. It's quite,
Yeah, it says it all, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
What was I going to say? There are some cards I really wasn't looking forward to studying, but actually got a lot more out of it. And the one I really enjoyed was the 3 of Arrows, Jealousy. Because I took this one for a really long walk and sat and thought about it for a little while. And I did a lot of work about base emotions and the importance of jealousy and the You know, why do we have the emotions of jealousy? Why is that the case? What does it serve as a purpose? And that was really interesting to go quite deep in with that one there, and get the bits and pieces working around that one. Again, I enjoyed the struggle card. All the cards that I wouldn't normally have enjoyed, perhaps, in there. I enjoyed working with those ones and trying to do some really good self-reflective stuff rather than worrying about some of the other things. I mean, this one, this image of dedication, it doesn't make any sense to me. I have to be absolutely honest.
Yeah. I mean, I have that issue with the Seven of Arrows, insecurity.
Yeah.
Like, this is not a, oh, I've been shut down pose for me. It's an over dramatic, like Ten of Swords if you don't want to take it too seriously pose. So, yeah. I mean, the image is beautiful, but
doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't.
And I think the problem comes from trying to be an RWS deck when you're not.
Yeah.
Because look at the Ten of Swords, for example, Ten of Arrows. I don't even want to say, I shouldn't say Ten of Swords. It's just, because it's not. It's the Ten of Arrows, and it's about teaching the next generation, and the ending of things, and not finding people who can teach you the previous ways that, you know, are getting lost because grandfathers are not teaching, you know, like grandchildren of hunting and stuff like that. And that makes sense, but it's really not a Ten of Swords.
It's not. No. And the moment I realised that that's not the case, and you don't do it like that, then, you know, it frees you up a little bit. In fact, I don't think I even read the book on that one there.
Hi, Claire.
Hi, Claire.
No, you're not the only one. I think a lot of people have trimmed it. I plan on, you know, trimming mine, but I want to wait until I go through the whole deck and just, I had the ambition to, I'm gonna be.
I don't think I would have. I think I quite like them, keeping them as they are.
I don't know, but I was thinking about, you know, like, oh, I'm going to learn all the meanings and I can just take off the title as well, which I still think that I might do just because it might help me get over the...
It might help. And I think, again, getting away from RWS stuff, I think that would help. Yeah.
I will definitely remove the numbers from the majors because it absolutely makes no sense.
Oh, yeah. Didn't like that at all. What did you like about the majors, actually? I'm just going to say, is there any there that you particularly felt?
I'm sorry.
Worked. That's all right.
I just, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't want to, you know, like block someone, but it was getting too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too distracting, isn't it?
Oh, playing poker with tarot cards. You gotta blast a pop paper knife. Yeah, I didn't know this quote. Okay. Sorry, guys, I just got distracted. Oh, I love that. That's one of my favorite cards.
This is a brilliant card, and again, it was when I first got the deck years ago and looked through. I kind of very skimmed the images on them and didn't spend a lot of time working with them. And one thing about doing this Wheel of the Wildwood through the year, Wheel of the Year, same thing, I suppose, in many ways. It gives you that chance to sit with the card and work with the senses and work with everything that's going on in it there. And that was great. And I really enjoyed it. And I've got a lot more out of the majors, particularly the Ancestor and the Stag.
Yeah.
Because I was always a little bit put off by the images on this for some reason. They didn't
really.
It didn't appeal for me. Yeah, I don't know what
I'm only asking because I bought the deck because this is on the box. Just, it's so funny how different we are.
Yeah. What is it when people put the heads of something on the body?
I usually hate that. It's anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
I never know how to say that.
I'm not a fan of this one, particularly.
I hate it too.
Ones are particularly standing out, and I was trying to work, you know, is it like a mask? And it's like, no, that is actually.
At first, I thought that it's a mask. Yeah, I thought that it's a mask, to be honest. Yeah. But then I read the description. And, nope, it's a half creature. Oh, okay.
Oh, I really enjoyed that card. And that one I actually did some shamanic drum work around. And that
That
really
sounds
helped as
exciting.
well. So I kind of got to know the noises in them all and
Wonderful.
um the scents and the smells, particularly with the shaman. And that
Oh,
really helped as well. Just kind of getting your senses working with them. So
yeah.
the cards that I thought I didn't like, I like. And the
Oh,
ones that I thought I liked, I've
do
gone off.
like.
If that
Oh,
makes sense.
interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you posted something about the court cards being animals. Still not a fan. I see.
No, I have a massive problem with any court cards, and a lot of decks do it. A lot of court cards that are represented as animals, and that's a problem for me because for
Mm.
me, where are we? The kingfisher is it didn't quite have the meaning of some of the keywords that went with the image in the book. Does
Yeah,
that make? Do you know what I'm talking about? So let's see if I
yeah,
can
yeah.
find, for example, the keywords that go with this one. I'm not brilliant at wildlife and stuff like that. So let's take, for example, the
You're thinking.
ability to judge true from false. Really,
Yeah,
from
like
a
how?
kingfisher?
Yeah.
How I'm like that, and it's like counts. Perhaps the other one, the swan, was a better one. And I know we talked about the swans before.
Yeah,
The
no,
yeah,
my favorites are still not the. I mean, I understand the queenness of the swan, but I think
yeah,
I still think that swans are bitches. So
absolutely. I mean, some of them I get purity, loss. Yeah, get that.
Yeah,
Shame.
I didn't get the whole lost thing either.
No, I
Like,
don't
where
get
is it? Where does it come from? Like associating lost to the Queen of Swords, Queen of Arrows,
freedom
whatever.
after strife. Again, I suppose if you had a Queen of Swords, you could think about that. But a swan,
And maybe it's because I'm just thinking that are swans only made for life? Like, is it something that they do? And maybe there's something with how they grieve, but it's not explained in the book. So
it's
I'm
not
just
explained in
wildly
the book.
guessing.
And I also think that other cultures will have different meanings behind the animals and the birds. That's the other problem.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
So
I mean
if
that's
you
true.
take the kingfisher, for example, there's a wonderful Greek myth about how the kingfisher, you know, came
Became.
around. And
Oh,
in um, in English, there's a word halcyon days. Halcyon days means kind of slightly looking back in retrospect and
ah,
enjoyable. Like when you look back in the summer holidays and all you remember is the heat and the sun and the lovely times, and you don't remember. You'd say that was a halcyon time. A halcyon means kingfisher. So I'm not getting that from it. It's all a very mixed message that's going on there.
yeah, and I think especially with the court cards, I think some of the meanings you find in the guidebook are definitely, oh, it's the RWS meaning, and I think that should be something that maybe I don't know. Again, assuming things, guessing things, but I kind of feel like because deck was created such a long time ago that maybe that was the only way to be a tarot deck if you were close to a system, because now you can come out with any system you create and just say that you created a new system and people will be like, okay, fine, we
Yeah.
like that. But in the past it was like, oh, are you sure you're a tarot deck? So maybe that's why there are associations close to the RWS system. But I would really love a rework when everything like that is gone. I think that would do the deck such good.
I'm just still thinking about these because I spend a lot of time thinking about these and actually never come up with an answer.
Yeah.
If you they have to have animals and birds in this deck because it's to do with
Yeah.
the forest, and
Yeah.
I get that totally. I totally get that. Okay, but if they didn't, what would you replace them for? What theme in the Wildwood? There's a question, and I don't know if you've got an answer
Yeah.
for it. perhaps it might be useful to go down that road because, yeah, I can see Hawk being the kind of Knight of Swords. Yeah, I get that. But
yeah, and the wren being the page makes sense. It's because it's a tiny bird, just by physicality alone.
Yeah,
But
I
it kind of makes sense.
a lot of legend, but I don't know enough, as you said, to be able to unlock that one.
Yeah, it's interesting because for the big ones, for the majors, we have like creatures like the stag, and the shaman or the ancestor who's a half animal, half person. So it makes sense that the court cards are not on that level of mysticism or mysticness, whatever. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm trying not to compare it to the RWS, but they are bringing back the RWS meaning, so it's very hard. But totally absolutely, the key.
I totally get that.
The key is to forget everything RWS.
The key is to, but at the same time, I'm not very good with animal kind of decks like that. I have very few in my collection.
Yeah, I only have the
quite a few.
Okay, it's not the, but the occasion.
Yeah.
Because that's the smokish and amber, so.
Yeah, I don't have that. I've got the Druid Oracle deck, and again, I have to use the book to look at those. I can't work with them, so.
I mean, I still want to, and to be honest, the Kingfisher, just on the first description or just the first part of the description, makes sense to me. Until it starts adding these things, and I think I will forget those and leave them out. I suppose because if I try to pull those in, then it doesn't make any sense.
It's very difficult sometimes to find more complicated or perhaps negative aspects of wildlife, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the problem
I mean, animals can be cruel and vicious as well, so.
Exactly, but that's nature, isn't it? So, I don't see how. I'm sorry. I'm just struggling with these ones.
I mean, that's why we have this chat, because I don't want people to think that we sat down, we studied the cards for 3 months, and now we're experts and everything was easy. It's not at all. But I still want to know this deck, and I want to use this deck, and I hate the idea that my favorite suit just give me so many troubles, so many struggles, because I always thought that this would be something that I would understand easily.
Yes.
And it's not. And I'm like,
so many layers to it. And you can, I think, possibly overcomplicate it.
Oh, I know I did that. From the moment that I could settle on the journal for, making notes, I knew that, I just created problems for myself. So, but there are cards that I really like. I don't know, the 5 of Arrows, the Frustration. I think that's a beautifully written card. Yeah. And it gives you such a nice way to connect to an emotion that's usually not necessarily in the card itself. So
I tell you what I'm going to put here, and again, I could be very, very wrong. When I started studying the deck, it was obviously, where are we? Ooh, in bulk, wasn't it? We started doing it. Is that right?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, my birthday.
Gosh, 3 months ago.
I should remember it was my birthday.
I was just expecting the cards to reflect the weather or the season a bit more.
But we fucked up the planet, so it's not. Because they did that.
And I get that there's snow in some of them, and that's why I actually probably like studying the card around that time. And I get you're not going to have the weather in all of them, and I totally get that.
Yeah, but this is such a wintry card for me. The Struggle, for example.
Yeah.
There's the deep into the winter. It's December when I look at it.
Butterfly. Now, you don't see butterflies this part of the year where I live. And again, different parts of the world.
I just saw my first butterfly yesterday, so.
I don't feel like we're about to enter Beltane and it's about to be sunny days and the trees are waking up. That's what I don't get from this. These.
I mean, honestly, spring is now when it's supposed to happen 2 months ago. So
Yeah.
I think that could be something that needs to be forgotten, the dates associated with the cards, even though that's a really cool system to study the deck with, and choose a card to study it for a certain period of time, like a week or so. But the weather is just so not anything like in the book that it's something else that can do, especially if you live on the other side of the world, where
Actually,
changing
I was going to
seasons,
say, if you were in the southern hemisphere, is it a different?
completely different mood and vibe and everything.
Yeah. Would it be? I don't know. Would it still start in Imba? I don't know.
So we're not. I even though this sounds like this is a negative experience, it's not. We're just trying to make
Yeah.
sense of things
Sorry,
that we couldn't get a whole.
we're not here to bemoan the deck because I have learnt an awful lot. Absolutely. And I can see people in chat really love this deck and I totally get it. And it's grown on me. Absolutely grown on me. At the same time,
I
it's
still
thrown up
want this
more
deck.
questions as I've gone, which is part of learning, isn't it? If I was to sit there and go, oh yeah, it all makes perfect sense, then
It's easy.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling, but I think when you said that, your Taurian side was like, or I have that. I have a Taurus moon, so I'm like, I think that's I want this deck to be mine feeling. So
I've invested so much in it.
I want to invest in it because I love the artwork. So yeah, but I might have made the mistake. No, it was a mistake to pick 12 different decks to study, one per month, while I'm doing a year-long study on this one, because that's just too much. I don't have that much time. So
well, I'm also doing this, which is another Will Worthington, the nature of, and it's helping.
Not sure
and I'm actually probably enjoying this more than the other one, if truth be told. But I'm going to probably mention now something that Gerald alluded to earlier on. I haven't actually done a reading yet with this. Have you done any readings?
No.
Why is that? Just because you want to just study it, or
because I know that if I would start using it now without studying all the cards, I would just use the RWS meanings, and I might not be able to get rid of that in the future. So I'm holding back on purpose until I go through all the cards. But I might, for the next 3 months, I might switch off the system. I'm thinking about not following the day by day, not trying to follow, because I wasn't following it in the last 2 weeks. Let's not joke about that or to pretend even. But I might try to go through all the cards as fast as I can, and then work with them a bit more. And I'm quite more excited for these because I remember cards like Celebration that I picked for
those. Yeah, I haven't.
Favorite.
I'm waiting to Beltane to get here. It's a bit.
No, I just pulled out all the cards tonight, to have them separately, and I split through them.
It's like cheating on myself to look at what's coming. I'm going to actually do a reading with these now. Now that I've finished this.
Do you want to do it now? Do you want to pull some cards?
Do you?
We could.
We could. Just using the ones from this, the arrows.
Yeah. Which one? Well, let's check. Let me check the.
Goodness on the spot. Okay, we'll have a go. Plus the majors. Okay.
Yeah. The shaman. If anybody wants to follow at home, it's the shaman, the ancestor, the pole star, the stag, the archer, the kingfisher, swan, hawk, and the wren, and then the 10.
I tell you what there is, and I can't remember where I saw this. There is a 3-card spread. Hang on a second.
Oh,
I
yeah, I'm
think
looking.
it's in the book.
Deck
The
or
pathway spread. The issue, action
oh,
to avoid, and action to take.
okay, I can do that.
That might be an
We could
idea.
check that in reference to working with the deck, actually.
Oh, good idea. What's the issue with the deck? An action to avoid with the deck, and an action to take. And I'm only going to use the ones I've studied.
Okay, I think I should have all the cards as well. I'm quite curious, to be honest. What?
Oh, the Oracle. The I'll just put it down. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, the images are really dark on there, but I will do it as a. I'll have to set my camera up properly. But yeah, they are beautiful. Yeah, Gisela. So it's going to be all the birds, isn't it?
How is this possible? Oh, the cat is awake. Kitty, kitty. Okay. Interesting. I blocked this person twice already. What the fuck? Interesting. Okay, so what were the positions? I forgot.
So number 1 is the issue.
Yeah.
Number
Okay.
2 is the action to avoid, and number 3 is the action to take.
Okay. Ace of stones. That's nice. Stones are coming up in autumn, I think. Ah, I got the first card so quickly, and now where are the rest? You can start if you want. I can make you big.
Okay, so the card I got for the issue about this deck, 2 of arrows. Injustice. Yes, I said at the beginning of this is the card that I was like, it's time to give up before I'd even started on this one here. So the issue that goes, I suppose the issue is I'm trying to get the balance correct on this one, and yet it's not working. And what I think that I'm putting into it isn't what I'm getting out of it.
Ah.
I think that's the issue with this deck right now, that I'm only kind of skimming the surface of it. I feel like I've made progress, but not enough progress with it. So I'm going with that one as the issue. That
do you want to guess? Do you want to guess what's mine?
You haven't got the same, have you? Isn't that weird? We've both pulled the card that we had the massive problems with.
It's like, don't be a bitch. Doesn't it? It says like, don't be your judgmental bitch. That's what the deck is telling me. The problem is that I'm being too judgmental, and honestly, after the past 40 minutes, I can say that it's probably true. So, yeah.
It's strange, isn't it, when you get a card like that? The issue is the card. There you go. Action to avoid. Have you got an action to avoid?
Yeah, I do.
What you got?
4 of Swords.
I got the 3.
Mine is like, don't it's still rest. It's not the best, but it's still rest. So don't give up. I pretty much take it. The action to avoid is don't give up and don't just.
I've got a similar kind of vibe. I've got the fact that don't let other decks that may be easier for you to work with be speaking to you. Don't be listening to that voice on your shoulder going, just pick up, the broken mirror. You love it, kind of thing. Right. So yeah, just don't listen to my inner voice or perhaps the voice that's sitting on my shoulder going, you could make
other people have it more easily. I was thinking that other people are much more connected to this deck than you.
Yeah, everybody.
Which is not. It's different. It's going to be different all the time. So
because actually, to be fair, and this is absolutely no disrespect to anyone in chat, people that put comments in it, they will go, oh, I like this deck, or I've done this for the day. It's always quite positive. The people that don't comment is the ones that probably have more issues with it.
Yeah,
that's true.
They're just probably afraid to say it.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
And they each to their own. Yeah. Right. Action to take.
Da, da, da.
We've
The
both got
archer.
major.
The archer. Mine is, I think it's pretty obvious, focus and, like focus on the deck itself and on the study.
Yeah.
Because I'm really scattered in a way currently in my life, so I'm completely, I can completely understand. It's like, get your shit together, girl.
I've got a bit of that. I've got a bit of, you get your tools together, get your shield or your drum and your axe, put your antlers on, get back onto it. Come on, you're better than that.
Yeah. Plus, doesn't it have the sense of we are here, we're connected to something deep, that you're supported by the deck or whatever.
Yeah. And also to get out in, perhaps don't sit at home doing it, go and do the study somewhere else as the weather gets better. Go outside, because that's where I got a lot of the readings from, some of the better work that came with it when I took my deck outside or went for a walk with it. Found myself back in nature, which is often what the stag is there talking about as well. So yeah.
I mean, I was really envious when you mentioned that you take it for a walk and stuff like that, because all I do is just go to work and I travel, and it's not a good time for me to. I mean, I was reading the guidebook on the train, being like, I'm reading a tarot guidebook.
Did you do sort of posing?
Exactly. I'm being a witch on the train. but it's still too much humans around me. It's too much machinery. It's not enough nature.
Yeah.
And I don't know. When the days are getting longer, especially now, hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not gonna be like winter forever. It's probably gonna be summer next week, so I'm gonna be dying. But hopefully I will have more time to actually go outside and just do something, because currently I just arrive home at 6 p.m. and if I'm lucky, my nephew is still here, and if he's here, I'm just playing with him. But after that, it's like, oh, I'm gonna just eat, sit in my bed, watch something or read, and then the day is over and I didn't do anything.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Oh, bye, girls. Thank you so much for being here.
Do you give yourself, when you do study about this or journaling, do you give yourself like, I'm going to do just 10 minutes on this, or do you go, no, I'm going to just write as long as I need to?
I mean, I usually, and finally I have the space for it, but I haven't had the chance to actually sit down and do that. But I like doing it for hours, a few hours, like have something on YouTube, catch up with YouTube videos, especially tarot collection videos. And really have a lot watching those and just journaling. And what I mean by journaling is nothing fancy. I just make notes. Like I studied stuff in university. I read the text. I make keywords. I make notes. So it's nothing as fancy as you like going outside and doing it in nature. Like no,
I'm really selling it more than
I don't.
I don't. Yeah, Please don't think I sort of go camping and
that would be so cool
and doing all that stuff. I've got to study that card. I'll take it with me, put it in a book, take it off somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have time to sit down under a tree and light some incense. That's about as much as I get out of it. So,
I mean, yeah, me and my highlighter on the train. That's my studying the first part.
The thing is, I need to go back and read this now. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I know. But I honestly
like to do is not chuck away this, but never have to pick this up again and just work with this.
That's what I mean. If I can find my notebook, that's the plan. I just don't know. I mean, it should be somewhere behind me. Honestly, I have my desk around here. I don't know where it is.
Have you got any
But
tips, I suppose, about studying this? If you were to say to somebody who was going to watch this video and thought, "Oh, I might jump in now at Beltane," because there's no
yeah,
reason.
I think, yeah, I'm sorry. I think one of the things that you need to remember is that you can start it anytime you want. So even if you find this video in the middle of the 3 months or whatever, you can just start, you pull out the deck. And if you feel restricted by the days that I listed in the description as well, and the Wildwood, the year in the Wildwood is working with, just forget it. Because honestly, it's not good to try to stick to a system and not study or use the deck just because you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it the correct way." There's no correct way. These are just guidelines, and we're trying to do them. Also, if you want, you can join the Discord. I can't say that a lot of people are very active at the moment, myself included, because I think life got busy for a lot of us everywhere. But
That's
yeah,
the joy of Discord in many ways. I can check in once every couple of weeks
yeah.
and post something.
I mean, it's not a busy one, so
If it was going ping, ping, ping and notifications, I'd get a bit cross
I
with it.
would, and you can mute the channel, by the way. So if you don't want to get notifications, you only want to check it when you have time. There's an option to mute the server or mute certain rooms. So, but honestly, um, you can just join and check it. And if you only want to have the list of the cards there, I posted the time of the bows. I created a chat room for it now, so there's the card list over there as well, so you can just do that. I don't want to post the link currently because of some unforeseen things can happen, but you can find it later. Or if you go back on my community tab. Yeah.
Have you been looking at other Facebook groups at all to do with the
Oh,
wild?
I still hate Facebook. I struggle with going. I know I should check because a lot of people don't even post anywhere else than just on Facebook. Like I really miss Diane, and I haven't heard from her, and I need to send her a message to ask how is she doing lately. But and I know she's updating her Facebook, but I hate Facebook so much that I'm just like, "Ugh." I know I have issues. I know I have issues.
What has been useful, I have to be honest, is that occasionally I get a reminder, a prompt from Facebook when they go, it's so and so, or it's this card this week, and I go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's about the only time it's useful. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really try to be in
I
groups
am
and stuff.
enjoying it. I know it sounds a bit moany, but I have actually got a lot out of it.
Ingrid Bergman and Richie Blackmore. What was that? Did I miss something? I blacked out for a second.
I don't know. Giselle hates Facebook too.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's not dwell into the negative. So, the next 3 months, any advice? Anything you're looking forward to? Studying the bows, the fire, the creativity.
I'm just excited.
No.
I'm looking forward to probably working with a fresh set of cards. I have been staring at these quite a lot, so it's going to be quite nice to put them away and think about how I've approached them so far. Hopefully things will start to gel quicker and I won't find it quite a struggle. Well, I'm hoping that's going to be the case.
Yeah, and you haven't checked the cards then?
I haven't looked at them. No, it'd be like opening Christmas presents before the day.
Okay, then look away because I want to show one card.
Oh no, show me some. It's fine. We'll be okay.
It looks like God, like from the Bible. That makes no sense to me. Like, why is God the angry God from the Bible, from the Old Testament? What is he doing with the decision? Like, So yeah, there are cards that I'm curious about, but there are cards that it draws me in just by
Yeah, there's
looking
a
at
few
them.
more. And I think the characters that you see in this bit are going to be a bit more interesting to work with. Not that the others weren't, but
Yeah,
they always spark my interest. Some of the poses they were doing, or some other.
yeah, like things like the fox is smiling, like stuff like that. Like, why are the fox?
I
What
like.
does the fox say? We know that, but you know. Oh, I'm gonna listen to the song at some point because that's so ridiculously funny after all these years as well. Even though that song is not the funniest they ever did. My
Yeah,
favorite one of them is Intolerant, which is about gluten intolerant, and the other is Yogurt. I just oh, Elvis is
I
just
have
so funny.
those.
Oh, I will send you links because they are ridiculous, and
Oh,
I
I can't
just
wait. I need to be
oh
cheering up.
they I'm gonna post it somewhere, maybe in the Discord. But they did a song about Stonehenge. That was funny as well. So
Oh, can't wait.
oh, I think I'm just gonna go on YouTube and watch all of their MVs now because it's just so much fun. Uh, but yeah, and I'm gonna be like the fox smiling.
The fox does look very happy with itself. It does look like it's been up to something. Did you
Exactly.
find this deck when doing the OM spread? I think Tony's talking about the tree ones I've been doing. I think that's correct. I think that's
Yeah, but I thought that you were overdoing things and you studying something else as well.
I have. I mean, talk about overcomplicating stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've done the Druid 13 Druid, or in the process of doing the 13
Mm.
Druid trees, Celtic trees. And we're on Willow at the moment. And again, that's taken up time. I was like, oh my God, I've got a few days to get this out and stuff like that. I
Mm.
haven't tied them together just yet because I think that might just hurt my head a little bit too much.
Ah,
And like I said, I only wanted to use the cards I've studied with, and some of those spreads have got like 7 or 8 cards in. So I wanted to give myself a bit more of a opportunity. So I tend to use other cards for the tree ones, the OM ones.
okay.
Use other decks for those ones when I'm working with them and practicing. So I'm looking forward to doing them with this, and yeah, but to deal with what I'm doing, the tree energies, and then to try and put this together, that would hurt my head a bit too much at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it is actually like I'm not saying that other decks are not this deep because that would be a lie and unfair, but it's definitely not something that you should just pick up and be like, oh, I can read with it,
Yeah,
because you would miss out. Oh, where's the cat? Uh,
that's
you would miss out on so much if you would do that. So I still think that it really does worth taking the time and study this deck because it can be such a great tool. I still want it. Oh, I still want this deck to be mine and be great. I'm not giving up. I decided it, back then when I started reading tarot, that this is gonna be my deck, so I'm not giving up.
you're not giving up on it.
No, I'm
Basil
not.
says if he starts hitting the microphone, I do apologise, but
I mean,
he'll
it's a cat. I don't mind.
start making funny noises. Yeah.
Okay, we're almost at the hour. I think we talked about everything we wanted. But if anybody has any questions, feel free to, or even suggestion. If you're watching the replay and you have, an idea how it's easier to study or, anything like that, please leave a comment because we can use some help for sure.
Just noticed Tony said I find it's been answering the spreads really well using the keywords. Fantastic. That's really
Yeah, the keywords. I just almost dropped the card.
pleased. And thank
Almost
you
dropped the
for
fox.
feedback. Oh, come on, off you go.
Did you do something with the back of the cards?
Mine have never had a design on the back.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't
Now,
know
I
that there was a card.
by accident a fake deck. I got a tinier
Oh,
version.
yeah. I
and that
remember.
has the trees on the back.
Yeah. Bye,
Yeah.
Giselle, and enjoy the hamburger.
But no, mine haven't.
Oh, I really like this tree, by the way, the
It looks
cappuccino.
lovely.
I just absolutely why is this a thing?
Yeah, it's the green. It's the writing down the side. It upsets me.
I mean, it makes no sense because if someone wants to steal it, they can steal it with that whatever mark it's called.
It's not going to make that much of a difference, I would have thought. And I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
I think it is copied quite a lot, piracy,
Yeah.
a few times. So
It's that's why I'm really upset. On top of everything, the book depository is closing down tomorrow.
oh no.
I bet it's Amazon. I'm blaming it on Amazon. Amazon bought it a few years ago, and I bet that they just put it out of business because they were a competition.
Wouldn't surprise me.
But I never had a problem with book depository and fake decks, so I'm gonna just. I miss them so much because that was so easy for me to buy decks, and now Amazon is not a thing here. I can order from Germany or from other countries, but even within the EU, it's ridiculously expensive. So I'm just gonna be so sad. Tomorrow is the last day.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
sad when things like that go, isn't it? There seems to be
But
lots of that happening at the moment.
Yeah, but
You've
it's
got
funny how I never thought that book depository won't be there. So it's
yeah.
like, I hate change. Did I mention that I hate change? And my whole life is like a change, a mess of change right now. So I know, I have to get over it. And
You'll forget it's been there. That's
I don't want to do that. I bought 71, like not just decks because I bought a few books as well, but I ordered 71 times from them. And
wow.
I didn't know. I just checked recently.
Oh, I can't ever look at facts and figures like that. It's a bit worrying if I went in to analyze things like that.
Okay, I think before we go, some shameless plug. Are you doing anything interesting? I mean, you're always doing anything interesting on your channel.
Yeah, hell yeah. What am I doing? Friday on my channel, 7, not 7:30, 7 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's Beltane Longstash readings.
I'm not gonna be home. I'm so sad. I wanted to ask for a reading, but
Pop the question in and we can do it. Like a postal vote.
Oh, okay. Because I'm meeting with a an old friend. We're trying to reconnect, so it's quite.
Well, there we go. There's a reading right there. How can I reconnect? If we do it, honestly, if you want us to do one, you don't have to be there in chat. We can do it.
Okay. I mean, it's a privilege to have friends in high places.
No, so we're doing that. It's Gerald and Nancy and I over on my channel on Friday.
Nancy.
And there's lots of things coming up, all sorts of wonderful bits and pieces. I haven't got my diary to hand, but I've got some exciting people to be talking to.
Plus, you have a Lenormand out, so if people want to buy a Lenormand, they should check yours out because it's so much better than every other ones.
Check out my Lenormand.
But yeah, and we will have a chat on the 6th of May. It's the coronation day, so I'm excited for that. You guys will have a new king.
We'll have a new king. Well, we've actually got one now, strictly speaking. But
yeah,
we'll
I mean, officially,
yeah, and we're getting together with our 5 of Pentacle people.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun, and I will have a chat with Robin next week. This time, we're gonna talk about mushroom decks because he's the mushroom deck person. So, and I have a new one, which is too far away, so I can show. But I recently posted on my channel the Midnight Magic. So that's going to be fun. Plus, even more shameless plug, I'm going to be putting up my Zombie Oracle on Etsy in a new size, new cardstock with a tag box. So we can be rageous about
raging about the
tag box. So if you wanted to get this oracle, which is just so good, honestly, but you don't like ordering from MPC, then soon you can order it from Etsy. Anybody? Shameless plug over, but I need to plug it because I have 20 something, decks here, so I need to sell them.
We're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, yeah. They used to have really good sales. Sad days. I hate change. Can I mention? Why do I hate change?
Can you mention it again?
Interesting. I like, let's pull a card on why do I hate change? Just
You get the swan.
insecurity, really?
There you go. I mean, you couldn't make this up, could we?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know I'm basic, but yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. Yeah, I will try to put it up during the weekend. So yeah, but I will hopefully come back and edit the description with the Richie's link or pin a comment or something, so you can check his one out as well. But yeah, so see you guys everywhere around YouTube and stuff like that. Join Discord if you want, even if for nothing more than to just have the card list or have people to ask questions from, because Richie is there to answer. Because I was so behind in everything that I was like, oh, I'm not there yet. I can't say anything. But I will try to do my best, and I will, like, hopefully I am sorry for making you laugh. But I'm just so funny, I can't help myself. But hopefully it's gonna be, like a good experience for the next 3 months. But yeah, if nothing else, then see you guys 3 months from now on the next Wildwood study chat. But maybe, how do we message you now? You can find me on Instagram. That's I think the easiest. For Richie as well, I think.
Yeah, Facebook Longland Tarot, Instagram Longland Tarot.
Yeah, and Dragoshi everywhere. Usually it's me, except on Twitter where a Russian bot have my name and it's blocked and everything. But But yeah, the Discord link was posted on my community tab a few posts previous. So if you want to find it, you can get an invite and join.
No, if you can't find it, and I'll.
Yeah, and you can message me over there as well. Okay, so yeah, thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the replay, if you're doing it. And like I said, please leave comments down below how you enjoyed the study. Have you joined? Are you planning on joining? All that, usual question. And then we're gonna start awkwardly waving and saying goodbye to you guys. Bye.